The year was the 12th century, in the reign of King Stephen of England, when the countryside was both wild and untamed, filled with superstition, folklore, and stories that blurred the line between the real and the otherworldly. In the small village of Woolpit, nestled in the fertile fields of Suffolk, life moved with the rhythm of the seasons, plowing, sowing, harvesting, and praying for good fortune. Yet even in this quiet corner of medieval England, whispers of the supernatural lingered in the air, like smoke that never fully cleared. It was in this backdrop of poverty, war, and faith that one of the strangest events in English history unfolded. Woolpit was no grand city. It was a simple farming village, its cottages built of timber and thatch, its fields marked by shallow pits once used to trap wolves. Hence the name Woolpit. On a summer's day, when the sun warmed the rolling meadows, villagers made a discovery that would echo through centuries. Two children, a boy and a girl, unlike any seen before. They were not merely strangers. Their appearance defied nature itself. Their skin was tinged a startling shade of green, as though life itself had painted them with a color no farmer had seen on flesh. Their clothes, too, were woven of a fabric unknown to the villagers, strange in texture and cut. They spoke in a language that sounded like no English, no French, no tongue familiar to the ears of Suffolk. Imagine standing there, hoe in hand, watching as these figures stumbled from the forest's edge. The villagers froze, unsure whether to call for the priest, the reeve, or the lord of the manor. Some crossed themselves in fear. Others whispered of fairies, spirits, or demons. The Middle Ages was no time for curiosity. It was a time of omens and signs, where anything unfamiliar could mean a curse. The villagers approached carefully, surrounding the children. Both were weak, trembling, and terrified, as though they had been torn from their world and thrust into another. When food was offered, bread, meat, cheese, they refused it all, turning their heads in disgust. For days they would not eat, until they saw green beans freshly harvested from the stalks in the fields. Only then did they eat, devouring them raw with desperate hunger. It was the first mystery among many. Who were these children? Where had they come from? And why was their very flesh marked with the color of the earth itself? Thus began the tale of the Green Children of Woolpit, a legend that has endured for centuries, sparking debate among historians, folklorists, and dreamers alike. Some claim it was proof of parallel worlds, others, a symbol of cultural outsiders misunderstood. But for the villagers of Woolpit in the 12th century, it was neither a puzzle nor a metaphor. It was a reality that walked into their fields one summer's day. The children were taken into the care of Sir Richard Decane, the local lord. His manor, larger and sturdier than the peasants' cottages, became their refuge. Within those walls, they began to adjust, though the mystery only deepened. Slowly, the girl learned fragments of English, enough to communicate, while the boy remained sickly, his health failing despite the villagers' efforts. The girl's words painted a strange picture. She spoke of a land bathed not in sunlight, but in perpetual twilight, a dim world where the sun never fully rose, and where everything had a strange green glow. Their homeland, she said, was called the Land of St. Martin, where everyone honored the saint, and where green beans were their staple food. One day, while tending their father's flocks, the children had wandered into a cavern. They followed the sound of bells echoing in the distance, and emerged, suddenly, violently, into a land bathed in blinding light, unlike anything they had ever seen. That was how they found themselves in Woolpit. The villagers whispered in awe and fear. Some muttered that the children were sent by God as a test of faith. Others believed they were fairies or spirits of the dead. A few feared they were omens of disaster, a sign of famine, plague, or war. Remember, England was already torn by civil conflict between King Stephen and Empress Matilda. To the medieval mind, anything unusual was tied to divine judgment. The boy's condition worsened. His body, frail and weakened, could not adapt to this new world. Despite the care given, he fell ill and died, leaving his sister alone in a strange land. His death was seen by some as proof that they did not belong in this world, that he was tethered to his twilight homeland, unable to survive under the harsh light of the English sun. The girl, however, thrived. She adapted, learned the language, and was eventually baptized into the Christian faith. As she grew, her green hue faded, though her origin remained etched in memory. She became more integrated into society, serving in the household of the Lord, and was said to live a long life, even marrying later. Yet despite her assimilation, she never fully lost the memory of the world she had come from, a place forever shrouded in twilight, forever unreachable. Her testimony sparked debates, even then. How could such a land exist? Some suggested it was a hidden valley. Others believed she had come from beneath the earth itself, a subterranean world. The mention of a cavern supported this. Perhaps there were vast tunnels, hidden realms beneath the surface, lit by strange light. The girl's story spread beyond Woolpit, carried by monks, priests, and chroniclers. William of Newburgh, a 12th century historian, recorded the tale, marveling at the details yet refraining from judgment. Ralph of Cawdishall, another chronicler, wrote of the children with equal fascination. Their accounts preserved the story, ensuring it would not be forgotten. But in those years, for the people of Woolpit, it was no scholarly puzzle. It was lived experience. The villagers who saw the children remembered the shock of green flesh, the sound of strange words, the taste of beans devoured with hunger. They remembered the boy's death and the girl's survival. For them, it was proof that their world was larger, stranger, and more mysterious than they had ever believed the moment she revealed the existence of her homeland. To a medieval world framed by religion, the idea of a parallel land was both terrifying and awe-inspiring. Was it a vision of purgatory, a realm of souls waiting for salvation? Was it a land of fairies, forever caught between darkness and light? Or was it a forgotten people, hidden in valleys unknown to English maps? For the villagers, the answer didn't matter as much as the feeling it provoked. The realization that the boundaries of their known world were fragile,